Ethel Cain, Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, album review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning here tonight to chat about this long-awaited follow-up record from Miss Ethel Cain, aka Miss Hayden and Hedonia, aka Mother Cain, aka the most interesting thing to happen to genres like slowcore in quite some time. And since her 2019 debut EP Carpetbed, I feel like as far as pacing and atmosphere goes, Hayden has always been putting out music that's far ahead of the pack. She sharpened her sound with Golden Age and made me an overnight fan with her Inbred EP. I've been kind of hooked on her stuff since the beginning. These EPs were moody, they were witchy, and had a real strong sense of atmosphere and storytelling as Hayden really started to build up the world of the Ethel Cain character. And that world finally came to life in full on her debut full-length record, Preacher's Daughter, which was, at the time, one of the most stunning debut albums I had heard in some time. Everything from the atmosphere to the storytelling to the performances clicked for me. Not only that, but it's really held up since the time that it's been released. I still love the hell out of that thing. Now, earlier on this year, Hayden did also release the Perverts EP under the name Ethel Cain, but man, this EP caught me off guard, mostly because it is an hour and a half long. Not only that, but this album was a very ambitious dive into the worlds of drone, noise, dark ambient, and more. But I found it an interesting project just because it showed just how far into the much more darker genres she was willing to go, something that's always interested me in her music. Now, she has released a new album, Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, and leading up to this thing, I thought singles were really great. I really loved Nettles. I've been listening to Fuck Me Eyes a lot. Let's chat about this thing. Now, the first leg of this record is nothing short of a nosedive into the sepia-toned psyche of Ethel Cain. Janie sets the tone beautifully. It is a stripped-down southern ballad, very gloomy. It's warm and rustic, but it definitely does have a tragic feel to it. And this one comes packed with hypnotic guitar strums, as well as teary-eyed vocals from Hayden. This one in Ethel's lore has her singing about her very best friend. And I don't want to go too far into the lore of the record. I want to keep that, a surprise for the listener. But as this album progresses, things only get more interesting. The Willoughby's theme interlude early on just shows just how great Ethel has become at world building. And these interludes, they are far from filler. Cinematic visuals, dusty drama, and just a little bit of a tinge of some David Lynch romanticism. Fuck Me Eyes, on the other hand, takes a sharp left turn into the very glossy, nostalgic synth pop that Hayden puts out from time to time. This track almost gives me like old school M83 vibes. It's foggy, it's seductive, and by the end of it, euphoric. And while this is a flavor of Hayden's music that I feel like is not for everyone, I feel like as far as this sound goes, this is a fantastic single. Really love Nettles as well. Been spinning this a lot since it dropped as a single. It is an 8-minute, dusty, rustic Americana journey. It's hushed, it's bruised, and my God, does it hit hard. And this track, as well as a handful of others on this album, are actually brought to light for the first time, even though demos of some of these tracks date back to like 2019. Willoughby's Interlude is another knockout interlude. It's another one that is just jam-packed full of warmth, but also unease and a strong sense of mystery, too. A slight glimmer of hope, one way or another as well, that really pulls you into her world. Fans of Ethel's ongoing story, when it comes to this record, they're going to be eating good. I think this album's biggest misstep, though, is definitely a knock at the door. And unfortunately, it's a pretty big misstep. I don't really know what happened on this track. The production all of a sudden is stripped down so hard that this almost comes off like demo quality. All of that richness and atmosphere that makes Ethel's music so interesting for me, completely out the window. And vocally, this is easily Hayden's most nondescript performance. It's just not that interesting, sadly. This sounds like it could have been anybody in the singer-songwriter world. And the songwriting doesn't really do much to lift this track up either. It's a shockingly just very average cut on a pretty decent record, man, let me tell you. The backstretch of this record, it is just as compelling. Really do love Dust Bowl. This is another one that's sort of seemingly been lost to time in the Ethel Cain lore, but brought back to the studio. It's dusty, dreary Southern folk at its most helpless. And it's really propelled by Hayden's almost angelic vocal performance on this cut. That's all before it explodes with wailing guitars and pounding drums and drama in its final moments. And Radio Towers, one of my favorite deep cuts here. This one is another instrumental standout, diving deep into drone and dark ambient once again. And honestly, this track is really well done. It's a great experiment. I'd love to hear more in this vein from Ethel. It feels like she's pulling from everything from the Twin Peaks soundtrack to the Silent Hill soundtrack. And Tempest is easily the most lore-dripped cut here. It is a 10-minute sort of shoegaze epic that just has so much drama and a serious sense of finality as well. It keeps me on the edge from start to finish, and as far as storytelling goes, look no further. And Waco, Texas closes this record out with a 15-minute odyssey. It's romantic, it's tragic, it's hushed. It shows Willoughby and Ethel in the lore escaping but seemingly doomed. And it just wraps up so many loose ends and years of storytelling that just feels right. I mean, I'm not really sure where Hayden is going to go from here. I know that she teased that this is the end of the Ethel Cain project, but wherever she's going, man, I am most certainly sold on it. While I do still think that The Preacher's Daughter is a little bit better of a record just because, you know, it just got a little bit more darker and more tense at times, this is a much more instrumentally lush, well-written, and just incredibly performed record from Hayden. She is one of the most interesting voices in these genres right now, and this is just another great example of why I'm feeling a very light 9 on this record. But let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.